What's up, fellas? Welcome to the Cloud Gaming Egg channel. So I just want to start off by saying I've done a in-depth thorough review or comparison between the Nintendo Switch and the Nvidia Shield K1 tablet, and pretty much in that video I covered what it looks like, just comparing the two when it comes to games, when it comes to multimedia, when it comes to features. So I'm going to link that in the video below. That's from my previous channel, and Sunny, my partner here on this channel, now is currently running that channel. It's called Sunnyside TV. So I'm going to post a link in the description below, and you can check it out if you're looking for like an in-depth comparison between the two of them. What I'm going to do in this video is just talk about my experience, and as you guys will see here, I still own a Switch and I still own my Nvidia K1 tablet right there. Alright, so I'm not just talking out my behind when I'm making this comparison. I use both of them for Geforce Now on a daily basis. I use my tablet for Geforce Now, and as you guys know, I'm always on this. But I have experience, is what I'm saying. I'm not just making this stuff, talking out my rear end, man. Alright, so to get started, we're going to look at four things, right? We're going to look at accessibility, we're going to look at portability, we're going to look at the games and exclusives, and we're going to look at the pricing. And then I'm going to compare all this four stuff between Geforce Now and between the Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm not going to cover the multimedia stuff. Again, if you want to see more in that, which is better when it comes to that, check out the video in the description below. This is a cloud-based channel, so I'm going to cover cloud-based related topics in discussion. That's why I'm going to focus primarily on the Geforce Now platform. So to get started, let's talk about accessibility, comparing the Geforce Now, not just the K1 tablet, but Geforce Now as a platform compared to the Nintendo Switch when it comes to accessibility. And I have to say, with this situation, I think the Nintendo Switch is superior, and I'll tell you why. Because with Geforce Now, you always need internet access to play your games. I know that's, people like, oh, there's internet everywhere, I can use my hotspot, my mobile phone. I get all of that, right? But when we're comparing Geforce Now to the Switch, the reality is it's just more accessible to pull out your Switch and not need internet connection to play a single player game like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey. But for the Geforce Now platform, you have to rely on an internet connection to be able to play those games. So personally, I feel like the Nintendo Switch, has an advantage when it comes to that. The good thing about Geforce Now, though, is that you can play on multiple devices, right? So for the Switch, you only have one platform. So if anything was to happen to your Switch, your one Switch, then you're pretty much screwed. But with Geforce Now, you can play it on your PC, you can play it on your K1 tablet, you can play it on your laptop, right? Just as long as you can download the Geforce Now client app on any of those devices, you're good. So when it comes to accessibility too, I kind of give some credit to Geforce Now, just the fact that you can pretty much play it anywhere. And the other thing that I give to the Switch when it comes to accessibility is the fact that the Joy-Con attaches to the hardware, right? Opposed to where you always have to carry a bulky controller wherever you go with the Geforce Now platform, right? But for the Switch, it's sexy as hell because it's attached to it, right? So you can detach it if you want to play like local multiplayer. But the fact that, when you're setting it up, you don't always have to like sit your laptop down or sit your tablet down and pull out your controller and make sure it syncs and all that nonsense. This automatically just syncs and works flawlessly. And I do have to say, when you want to transfer it to like a screen, the Switch is, I feel like, a lot more easier because you just put this in the dock and boom, it's like magic. It just displays on TV compared to Geforce Now. If you have an Nvidia Shield at home, you have to go home, like just go to Geforce Now and stuff like, I don't know, I guess that's not as bad, but I still give the Switch an advantage when it comes to just like the simplicity of playing on the TV. I feel like with the Geforce Now you need another device. You need like a NVIDIA Shield or whatever. You can't just like have a dock that you dock it and you're good to go. So I give the Switch some credit. So when it comes to accessibility, they both were 2 and 2, but I think the Switch is more accessible than Geforce Now, but Geforce Now has some advantage too, but I still give it to the Switch when it comes to accessibility. When it comes to portability, for sure, hands down, the Nintendo Switch. I think that's why this system sells so well, because it's just so portable. And the cool thing with the Switch is like if you're playing the game and you turn it off, you're good, right? Just as long as no one turns it on and accidentally like exits your game. But if you on the bus and you get to a destination and you gotta get off, you just hit the off button and you're good, right? As soon as you hit the on button, you're good to continue where you left off, compared to Geforce Now always being always need internet access. Sometimes you get in trouble, like if you're using mobile hotspot playing the bus and you lose connection, well, you're screwed. And honestly speaking, I would not recommend that, because if you lose service and you're doing really well, you're screwed. So when it comes to portability, I feel like hands down the Switch is definitely more portable than the Geforce Now platform. Alright, so the next thing we're going to cover here is games and exclusives. Now, when the Switch launched, again, link is in the description for this video, but I made the argument that they didn't have a lot of games, right? The great thing about Steam is they have all this backlog catalog of games that you can always go back and play. It's always, if you purchase in Steam, you always have it in Steam. So, unless the, developer decides to strike a deal with someone else and remove it from Steam, but normally if you purchase a game from Steam, it's always on there. So you have a list of like games after games, years of games on Steam, compared to the Switch, where it's kind of like a new system, a new platform, and there's not that many games on there. But I do have to say the Switch is getting games left and right, indies left and right. And it's even said that indies actually preferring the Switch over Steam and PC, and sales are proven that. Celeste is sold better on Switch than did for Steam or PC, and we saw Cuphead do extremely well for the Switch compared to it's sold well on PC too, but it's sold pretty well on the Switch as well. So when it comes to games, I do have to say they both get credit here, because Nintendo right now, just being real, is killing it with exclusive. Just in the month of July, end of June, we got Super Mario Maker 2, and then we got Wolfenstein Youngblood in July. We got Dragon Quest Builder, we got Fire Emblem, and then we got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. And then come August, you getting games like Astro Chain, you getting that Square Enix Onimusha, whatever that's called. But Switch is killing it with games. So I also think it's a preference, right? Some people just really appreciate Nintendo games, right? So it's a preference. What I do have to say when it comes to Geforce Now, though, is that you do get quality AAA titles. And I would recommend you play the AAA titles. For instance, I play a lot of Warframe on my Nintendo Switch, and I play a lot of 2K. But I've streamed Warframe and I've streamed 2K, and you guys can see the video on the channel. And for Geforce Now, and graphically it's better, frame rate wise is better. So when it comes to like AAA title, I think Geforce Now definitely has an edge compared to Switch. Like if it's coming out for GeForce Now, if it's coming out on Switch, honestly speaking, I'll recommend getting this GeForce Now if you're really focused, interested in like performance compared to the Switch, because they look way different, they run way different, and I would pretty much say play Warframe on PC rather than Switch, just being real. Play 2K on PC rather than Switch, just being real. Just better performance, look better, and runs better. That's the truth. But if you're exclusive to one platform, then don't miss out on those games for the Switch. Alright, so again, when it comes to games and exclusive, I believe they both have the advantage, because Steam has that whole back catalog of great games that you can always go and play, as to where Nintendo makes some great exclusive. I mean, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Fire Emblem, like those games are incredible, and you can only find it on the Nintendo Switch platform. So it's a toss-up, and again, it's all about preference when it comes to games. There's some people who really appreciate Switch games, and there's some people like and people like prefer PC games. So it's a toss-up with this when it comes to games, right? So let's go to the next thing on the list, the last and final thing, and I'll give you guys my verdict at the end. So pricing, right? Switch Lite or Switch Mini, whatever you want to call it, is going to be releasing sometime this year for $200. Guys, that's a steal. That's a steal. But I would like to make the argument that GeForce Now can run on any low-end PC. So you can get a Chromebook for $100, and as long as you have a solid internet, GeForce Now can run on there. So again, this is a toss-up. This is a toss-up because price-wise, if the Nintendo Switch didn't have this mini coming out, if their current price stuck at $299, then I would say price-wise, I would give it to GeForce Now. But the fact that they decide to release the $200 model, I feel like that price is right, and it's a good price. So price-wise, it's a toss-up. I would say personally though, like, what you want, right? You know what exclusive you want to play. You know what? It's tough to say price wise, just being real. But I'll give it a both. Right? Because again, you can get a cheap Chromebook, or you can get a cheap laptop and still run GeForce Now really well, as long as you have a solid internet connection. Or you can get a $200 Nintendo Switch. You'll be missing some features that are available for the $300 model, but you still be able to get a good gaming experience. The price is a toss-up, right? So my final verdict, my personal opinion about which one I think is better, okay? Personally speaking, I love GeForce Now. I've been covering it since three years ago, when it was originally announced for the Nvidia Shield TV and K1, when they used to charge $7 a month, kind of like what Google Stadia is doing. They used to charge $7 a month, and then they didn't even have access to Steam games. They made games specifically like Google. Like Google actually, I think, is following GeForce Now old school model, right? Because they make games specifically for GeForce Now. Priced it specifically. The pricing, I think if you owned it Steam, you were good, but they actually sold it and had discount on those games on their own store, right? So personally, I feel my final verdict, I love GeForce Now. That's where I was going with that. I invested so much money and time in that platform. I love it, but I would go with Nintendo for the best portable performance when it comes to GeForce Now and the Switch, right? And I'll tell you why. The games, guys, seriously, the games are just incredible. The portability factor, the fact that this has never been done before, being able to play a game, right, in your bed, go downstairs, dock it, your big screen TV, right, continue playing if you want, right, make your breakfast, take it out of the dock, put it in a case, put in your bag, go to work, go to school, play this school, all simultaneously. You don't lose your data, you don't lose your progress. It just goes with you. That has never been done before, and that's a game changer compared to with Geforce Now. Yes, you can start playing in your bedroom, right? But then the transition of going from your bedroom downstairs to your living room, it's not simultaneous, right? You have to reboot it on your video show downstairs, right? Log back into your game. Hopefully, your game saves. And then you play there for a little bit. You make your breakfast for you to go to work or go to school, wherever. You have to turn it off again. And then you have to leave, and you have to hope to get an internet access. Don't forget, your home is Wi-Fi, so that's good. But if you're leaving home, you have to worry about all right, do I have enough battery on my phone to use the hotspot, right? Do I have a good signal that my hotspot can power my tablet, a laptop, to be able to play AAA games? And honestly speaking, I've tried it multiple times. 4G is just not strong enough to play AAA games in Geforce Now. I recommend getting a Wi-Fi hotspot, like being in a good Wi-Fi area. Okay, so my personal opinion when it comes to portability, I think the Switch definitely wins over Geforce Now. I know it sucks because it's a cloud gaming channel, but again, I keep it 100 on this channel. I'm not gonna sell you guys BS, right? My personal opinion is when it comes to portability, I definitely think the Switch is a lot better than Geforce Now. Now, that can change with Stadia though, because I believe Stadia has some really cool features like the instant access, that makes it more enticing, and the fact that you can actually play it on your mobile, right? I know you still need the Pixel, but they've stated that it's going to be available on multiple devices. But having that accessibility is key, right? So Stadia, I think, will be better than Geforce Now. But just thought this would be a fun video to make. If you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see an in-depth comparison, like game-wise, feature-wise, check out the video in the description below. Alright fellas, thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace.